Good afternoon and welcome to our Dharma discussion. For those of you who are online, we just had a very large storm here with lightning strikes, so we were not able to live stream our 3 p.m. Meditation. So we're able to get our electricity back up online for this Dharma discussion group right now. So without further ado, did you want to start, Khenpo, with a prayer?
Oh, yes. Can you open yellow book page number 4? Until awakening, I take refuge in the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Supreme Assembly. By the merit of generosity and the other perfections, may I attain Buddhahood for the benefit of all beings. Until awakening, I take refuge in the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Supreme Assembly. By the merit of generosity and the other perfections, may I attain Buddhahood for the benefit of all beings. Until awakening, I take refuge in the Buddha, the Dharma, and Supreme Assembly. By the merit of generosity and the other perfections, may I attain Buddhahood for the benefit of all beings. And then I think today we recite these page number 3. Page number 3. I take refuge in the Buddhas until attaining the essence of awakening. Likewise, I take refuge in the Dharma and in the assembly of the Bodhisattvas, just as the Buddhas of the past gave rise to bodhicitta and progressed along the Bodhisattva's path. So shall I give rise to bodhicitta for the benefit of all beings and practice the stages of the Bodhisattva's path. I take refuge in the Buddhas until attaining the essence of awakening. Likewise, I take refuge in the Dharma and in the assembly of the Bodhisattvas, just as the Buddhas of the past gave rise to bodhicitta and progressed along the Bodhisattva's path. So shall I give rise to bodhicitta for the benefit of all beings and practice the stages of the Bodhisattva's path. I take refuge in the Buddhas until attaining the essence of awakening. Likewise, I take refuge in the Dharma and in the assembly of the Bodhisattvas, just as the Buddhas of the past gave rise to bodhicitta and progressed along the Bodhisattva's path. So shall I give rise to bodhicitta for the benefit of all beings and practice the stages of the Bodhisattva's path.
So we'll take questions from people who are here at GBI, and then also those of you who are online, if you want to raise your hand, and then we'll call on you. And we also have questions via email. So let's start with those who are in GBI. Oh, we have a hand up.
Hello, Khenpo. So today we did the meditation without a reference point, as far as I understand. Mm-hmm. So we were just we're trying to simply rest. Yes. And before we were doing meditation, shamada meditation, where we were concentrating on our breath. Oh, yes. So could you please explain us what would be the difference between these two, and which one should we prioritize, or which one is more useful for the beginners, maybe?
Oh, yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. So actually this depends on practitioners. Some maybe want breath, focus on the breath. Actually, Buddha taught that part in Buddha's Sutra. And then after that, the Asanga, Abhidharma Kosha text, it also mentioned more about breath. We focus on the breath, and then the most of the time, for the beginning practitioners, we start with the breath. The beneficial is one who has more kind of thoughts, and especially strong thoughts, the strong emotion like anger or something like that. Then focus on the breath is the best. How to say? Is the best antidote of strong emotion. It says Buddha said that. And it's if we focus our breath, it immediately reduces emotions. So the reason is breath. Actually, when we process through nostrils, we call breath, but in the reality, that is the wind, inner wind, part of the inner wind. So that's why then it also best training to practice the wind, inner wind. So that focus on breath is also very helpful, especially for the sake of beginners. I think that focus on breath is very important. Breath also has different types that I lead in through different methods. And then I answered to your question directly. That is, for example, today we did, as you said, simply rest or relax. So this both, if we are talking about individual, both are necessary. Both are necessary, and generally, the most of time, the focus on breath is, especially for beginners, the focus on breath is kind of very important. And also, if we can hold or catch the key point of today's method, then that is very kind of helpful. At least the 1 hour is so fast. It's 1 hour is so we almost not sure. For me, I'm going to lead. I don't want to take your extra time during the meditation. That's why I'm going to focus on the clock often. Otherwise, if we can skillfully rest well, then I think today's meditation is also very useful for beginners. But then the clear answer is actually I answered the beginners and practitioners who has long-term experience. But in the reality, that doesn't make so much difference, beginner or long-term practitioners. For example, for me, probably this week, today, this Sunday, I need like a today's meditation method. And then next week, probably I want to apply breath for meditating, something like that. So either is the helpful. Okay, thank you.
We have a question in the chat here from online. Could Khenpo talk about the Abhidharma, whatever he wants to say about the topic? That's a big one.
Yeah. So should I explain a little bit?
Maybe give an overview of Abhidharma, or whoever asked that question, if you want to unmute yourself and clarify.
Okay.
Just a second. Looks like she might be unmuting.
Yeah, I will. First, I will explain a little bit.
Yeah, probably start with an overview for everybody, and because this is going to go to YouTube, probably start there, and then if you can, from the Chinese perspective, as opposed from the Theravada.
Sorry.
So she wants a summary, an overview, a summary, and then maybe
Yeah.
focus on Chinese versus Theravadan.
This Abhidharma Kosha text.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Abhidharma Kosha text is actually this. I think it translated in Chinese, and some Theravada practitioners definitely they do, and that is actually we should understand that this Abhidharma Kosha. He's he's actually we call him this the writer's name. Of course, this teaching is came from Buddha, main thing, Buddha Sutara. But then there is a Abhidharma Kosha text writer. Name is Lopung Yingni. Yingni, we call Yingni. And then his brother is Asanga. And Asanga, he went to the Tushita, and he met Maitreya Buddha. And then he met Maitreya Buddha, and he received 5 great teachings. He received 5 great teachings, and then he came back at his place, and then he began to teach it. Actually, that is a long story. It depends his mother, something like that. Maybe I began from there. It's better a little bit. Seems we have time. So there was one mother. She has 2 boys, and one boy is father is king. Another boy's father is Brahmin. And then at that time in the India tradition, the son or children should follow their father's jobs. If their father is a business man, then they are going to become businessmen. If their father is like a carpenter or something, smith or something, then they are going to do same thing. So that's where then when they grow, and then at that time they asked what is the job of our father, because we are going to do it. And then their mother replied them, I did not give you birth to become a king or to follow other different jobs. I gave you birth to a flourishing Buddha Dharma, because Buddha passed away in this world, and then there are many obstacles about Dharma. So that's where I gave you guys birth. I gave birth to you for flourishing Dharma. That's where then these 2 sons, same mother, father are different. And then she sent different schools of Buddhism. And then Asanga, actually he, I think many of you know that Asanga tried to see Maitreya Buddha for undertaking hardship for 12 years. Eventually he saw Maitreya Buddha, and he went to visit the Maitreya Buddha's land. And then he studied there, or he received 5 special teachings. His teachings are related about the only mind school, and Parjana Parimitas. And then this Yingni, I forgot his name in Sanskrit. So Yingni, he went to the lower schools, another schools. So that's where then they grew, and then this the writer of Abhidharma Kosha, text. Then Abhidharma Kosha is his name probably. And then he said, "Oh, Asanga is elder brother." So he said, "Oh, Asanga is follow the wrong path." Because Asanga mentioned about the mind, and everything is mind, and the mind is emptiness. So that's where then he thought his brother followed the wrong master, and he found the wrong path. And then they argument each other's like a debate. And then slowly Asanga explained his younger brother, the Abhidharma Gorya text writer. So then eventually this he woke up. That means he understand. Oh, everything is mind, and mind is also emptiness. Exactly what he realized his brother. Then he also realized that. For that reasons, then he start to compose that text, and he start this text. It has 8 great chapters. 8 great chapters, and then each chapter mentioned some is mentioned about the faculties. Some chapters mentioned about the sun, Mount Miro, earth, directions, and some chapters mentioned about karma cause and effect. Some chapters mentioned that over human life and the life force and so forth. So then it has many commentaries. So in this chapter, so that it mentioned that about breath. Breath has the focus breath, counting the breath, count the breath, and then to realize that breathe in and rest in the body and breathe out. In the Vajrayana path, we say Om Ahom recitation, something like that. And then it mentioned that breath provides whole body. And then slowly it mentioned that the inner mind, inner wind, and the body are the how kind of union, something like that. So it has 8 great chapters. That's briefly about this Abhidharma Kosha text story background. Okay. Thank you.
Okay, and so we have another question. This came through the email, but also actually she's here. Jean, I was taught to burn my Dharma flags when they had to be changed. Now I'm not allowed to burn them as they have a little plastic and they'll contaminate the air. What is the most respectful way to dispose of Dharma flags in this situation?
That's true. Actually, it's the best way is Dharma flag. People don't make Dharma flags by plastic kind of things. Best thing is they are going to make Dharma flags by real original clothes. Whether no need a very expensive one, a very simple one, then easily burn it by sun, dry by the sunlight, or it's the rain, or it's easily dissolved into the earth, dirt. So then that will be great. But we cannot how to say say everybody do that and this. So that's where recently we had many kind of preflex with that quality is plastic. So if we burn it, it's so difficult because this pollution, the how to say, the smoke, that is unhealthy. If we do not burn that, it's still below by wind everywhere, and then especially the letters, Dharma letters on the path on the road. If one steps on there, that means one against one's refuge vow, 3 jewels. So recently, sometimes it's so difficult to say, but sometimes I feel it. Seems there are lots of things need to fixed on the Dharma path. Seems there are see many things. It's quite difficult to mention it. Probably it's not right time. Otherwise, there are lots of things really have to understand about Dharma path. But then directly my answer is the best thing is if that is not related about the pollution, I mean the plastic, then traditionally it burns on the fire. That is the best. If that is real original kind of healthy clothes, then we burn that, and then the smoke also helps to many beings, something like that. And then second is if we cannot burn it, then if this is we have that permission, then we put a little bit higher mountainside on the. It's also quite difficult. If we hang on the trees, maybe trees also start to dry. It's a little difficult. Otherwise, maybe little higher mountain area we put, and then if there are some letters, try to a little bit touching with wind or some. That means sometimes we don't have so many choice. So we put them outside of people's road, because then people not step over there. So I think then hope it is less damage environment, and so that's what I think. Okay.
All right, so we have a question here. Patty, could you?
Hello, thank you for speaking with us. Forgive me if this is a very beginner question. What practices would you suggest to someone beginning their spiritual path, particularly someone who has grown up in a damaging religious environment? For me personally, it was a Christian environment that was not suitable for me personally.
Oh, yes, thank you. So very beginner practitioners, number one is one should receive a refuge vow. And receive refuge vow, it does not always mean some kind of received some powers. If one received a refuge vow, at the same time, one received many informations. Received many informations, and then what things okay to do or what things isn't okay to do something. That one knows many things. So that is the first one, and second is also then the Buddhist Savas vow is also extremely important, and then that is the what you are going to receive somewhere, but the everything is actually within you. So that's where what should you do is. For example, if I briefly say it, through body, speech, and mind, and the Dharma practices are engaging 3 doors: body, speech, and mind. Through physically, we try to save others' life or protect others' life. If we can, directly or indirectly. If we cannot do that, at least we will not harm others, other beings. That means, for example, I'm walking on the road and I see there are many ants. And then if I step on their body, whether I know that and I see it, that is not okay. So that's why we try to avoid. We walk another way or something like that. And another reason is if there is another fly falls into water, and if we have time, we just pick up and put on the kind of dry place on the trees or somewhere. If we don't have time, sometimes honestly we do not have time. At that time, just recite a mana mantra, Om Mani Padme Hum. So that's actually speech. Then through physically we try to protect other beings. If we can't, then we don't harm others. And then through speech, we try to help other beings. If people have some questions and we answer, it's not always, some Dharma question answers. In the reality, there are also Dharma question answers. I often say that if we are in the how to say some places, for example, and the people lost their path, and they ask where is something, where is the hotel, where is the water, where is the kind of a restaurant or something like that. At that time, we kindly, sincerely, we explain that. That is also great generosity and great things to do that. And then through mind, mind, and then also through speech, if we cannot do always say good things, but we try to reduce using harsh word. I mean, we cannot stop everything one day, but start to reduce this harsh word or something, the kind of these things. And then another thing is through mind, then give rise compassion and bodhicitta. That people may not see that, oh, you are generating compassion or bodhicitta. It does not matter from your side. For yourself, you give rise bodhicitta and compassion often. First, you make efforts for that. Within mindfulness, always be alert, or at least once a day, try to generate compassion and bodhicitta, something like that. And if one cannot generate bodhicitta and compassion every day, but there's another thing, method is don't give rise malicious thought. Malicious thought, yeah. And then kind of strong negative thinking. Try to reduce those things. Best thing is don't give rise to these things. If sometimes it comes, at that time try to reduce and don't follow. These are through the mind, how improve that. And then these are the main thing. And then at the same time, as I said, that if there is a Buddha's kind of a teaching in the Dharma books, don't stay on there. When I say that, then why I say that is, if one person step, for example, for me, I stepped on this book, maybe nobody say negative thing to me, nobody may be angry to me, but that means I punished myself. So I reduced my merit. So the Buddha said in the future, when Buddha passed away, his attendants, Ananda, was crying, and he requested, please don't pass away. And Buddha says, don't cry, Ananda. In the degenerated time, I will come as a Nemanakaya form, which is my teachings in the books. At that time, you respect that, and then you practice with this text. That means I'm always with you. So that is very true that we should remember. So I think these are the main thing. And then in generally, kind of more be happy. That is important. Be happy means be mindful, but be happy, relax. Don't I don't mean that any of you have that, but don't be too much sensitive. Too much sensitive, become too much sensitive, then there are lots of obstacles. So Shantideva says that Zere Jin La Nupa among his text, he mentioned that. Dharma Zere Jin means, oh, something happened, it's too much like kind of become sensitive. That is that is obstacle of meditation too. So then every day try to be mindful and promote mindfulness. And so these things are what, whether one is a beginner practitioner or long-term practitioner, doesn't matter. These are very helpful. And then, yeah, that's daily, in the daily practice or daily kind of the Dharma practitioner's life's career. And then, yeah, that's all. Thank you.
Anybody online who is in the Zoom chat who have a question? I don't see any hands up right now. I'll keep going and then just raise your hand. I have one from the email. So when I'm doing my Nundro practice, so this is a Nundro question, really, whatever is appearing, this person is saying they're having lots of dark thoughts. Sometimes their visualization is unclear. They're tired, falling asleep. So what kind of antidotes can you suggest for these kinds of things that happen in practice?
Yes. Thank you so much for sharing your experience. So definitely, during Ngondro practice, there are lots of kind of physical pain and just not enough efforts. The numbers are too much. So that is not like a phone number. The numbers are really too long. So the best antidote of preliminary practice, Ngondro practice, and all actually it provides everywhere. Four thoughts. So, for instance, if you can clearly focus that you attend the precious human life, then you visualize the yadams or refuge field is not so difficult. The reason the visualizations are unclear, it does not mean they aren't appear in your meditation mind. It means your mind needs to become very clear. So, for example, if our eyes are clear, eyes have no problem, then we can see the mountains or trees or other kind of stones. If this small eyes has some problems, doesn't matter mountains how big, we cannot see. Likewise, you are going to visualize that Actually, we do not say visualize, but you should focus precious human life more. And then second, I agree that sometimes tired and something that happened. So that means you are going to meditate on impermanence. Impermanence, the reason is ancient times, these masters, they 24/7 practice, but still they think, oh, I don't have time. I'll give you an example. There was one master, he was stayed in the mountain cave, and then he come out. Sometimes he come out of this cave. Just near by the door of that mountain cave, there was a bush. This bush always stick or hold his rope often when he coming in and out. And he actually first he think he is going to cut it, but then he rethought or think, oh, I'm not sure if tomorrow I will be alive, or first I will die, or I can cut this bush. I'm not sure. So that's where then continually they practice that. So that's where impermanence, meditate on impermanence is very helpful. So then other tiredness and so everything one can reduce, and one can promote or develop the diligence. So that's a second thought is very very important. And then sometimes if you aren't tired because of practice, but your enthusiasm is, oh, I'm going to the town, restaurant, city, just be enjoy. The same, they are same like my age. They are enjoy. They are always spend time with kind of games, or they spend time with different things. If you have that feeling, then or they have like a boyfriend or girlfriend, something like that, or they are enjoying some. So that is better than my practice. If you feel like that, and then you are going to focus on. Then means actually you are going to focus the renunciation, give rise more kind of renunciation of samsara. So samsara is like a honey. That honey is on a very sharp razor or knife. So I like the honey so much. So I am going to lick this on the top of the knife. If I lick that, after I experienced sweet on within my tongue, and then it cuts my tongue. So next step is hospital for us to the doctor. So that likewise, that's where we say, oh, I have this problem, that suffering, and then we need the guru or dharma or something like that. So we the four thoughts are the very important during the Hundro. And then what is related about the your practice, Hundro practice, and karma cause and effect? That means you should trust. Just yesterday, the lamas, we discussed this for a short time just about that. At that time, I also had chance to mention that. We need blind faith, but we need wisdom faith or belief. That's true. Number one, first, you cannot understand the karmic relation, karma cause and effect. At that moment, you are going to blindly faith in karma cause and effect. Blindly faith means, oh, Buddha said there is karma cause and effect. So I believe it. Oh, my guru says there is a karma cause and effects. I believe it. So that's the way Ngundo practice is very, if right now I practice Ngundo, then result, I will become enlightened. That means you will realize your natural state of mind. So first you blindly fed through this way. And then don't always blindly fed does not help us all the time. So you need faith with wisdom. That means number one, you are going to understand that right now you are practicing Mundo. Why are you going to do prostration? Because you are going to, in the reality, your body is 5 family Buddhas. Your 5 aggregates are the 5 family Buddhas. But right now, the 5 aggregates wearing very, very kind of dirty clothes, if I'm right to use that. That means your body activities are engaging non-virtues. So that's where you are going to purify obscurations of your body. And why do you recite refugee prayers? The reason is you are going to purify your non-virtues of speech. Otherwise, your speech has 62 melodies, special melodies. That is the Buddha possessed. You have same thing, but right now we don't, because we follow the 4 non-virtues of speech. So that's why we are going to purify that. We recite it. And then Vajrasattva, we are going to purify non-virtues through channels. Usually the channels are Nirmanakaya, but right now we apply the channels as ordinary channels. It's like a water pipes. So then sometimes in the toilet, somebody threw there's some kind of very thick papers, like paper towers, and then it block. Similarly, we did not use right by our channels, so that's where then our channels are not we cannot utilize our channels as nirmanakayas. And then why do we but we practice Vajrasattva, it cleansing, purify, so that's where then nirmanakaya forms appear from there. And then the reason we are going to practice mandala, because we do not enough merit right now. We have lots of powers. We have lots of skills. We can fly, honestly. We can fly. Airplanes can fly in the space. But if they touch on the mountain rock, then crash. But we can fly through mountain rock. Inside, we can fly through inside, and we can come outside of the mountain rock. We don't want to going round over there. We don't want to damage mountain rocks. We don't want to destroy environment. Physically, we can fly. And mentally, we can experience highest, supreme, unsurpassable bliss. So that's why we can't do that. Why we can't experience that? Why we can't do that? Because we do not enough merit. If we accumulate mandala, and then we can do it. So proof is malaria flu. Buddha flew they were in the human form at that time. Still they could. So that's one. And then why do we practice Guru Yoga? The reason is we are Guru. We are Vajradhara. We are Samhita. Right now we prostrate them. We respect them. So we don't know that. And we don't know that we are Guru. But I say through self-pride, oh, I'm Vajradhara, it does not make sense. But I should realize that I myself as a Vajradhara relates through the Guru Yoga practice. And then, so that's why we, anyhow, one of preliminary practice is for the sake of enlightenment and accomplishment, and accomplished all the cities. So that's you are going to remember these qualities. Actually, you began to do preliminary practices are extremely wonderful. In this busy century, most people always suddenly trudge the higher things. That's the human nature. Everybody think, may I become billionaire? They don't try to say, may I get $1 and then $100. Nobody asks gurus or there's a Dharma protectors or something like that. Suddenly they say, may I become billionaire or millionaire or something like that. But the reality is step by step. That is the law of karma. So that's what you should think. And I think maybe I did not answer. Somebody says, it says that the Tara is my Dharma protector. Did I answer that? Who said that? Oh, another.
No, that was another question. Yeah, but you could go ahead and answer that too.
Yeah. Tara is, Tara can be your Dharma protector, your guru, your yidam, yes, and your darkness. Oh yeah.
Does anybody at GBI have a question? Raise your hand. Okay, online. All right, so I have another one from email. Can we practice multiple deities in one retreat?
Definitely you do. First I answered that. So how can you do? Do you know the word of my perfect teacher? The writer's name is Zapater. Zapater. Yeah. Or Pater Rinpoche.
Pater Rinpoche.
Yeah. Pater Rinpoche. I visited his place in Tibet. So he practiced Yidam deities. So in Tibet, at that time they did not have airplane, they did not have cars and motorcycles or bicycles. But what they had is horse. So that's where Pater Rinpoche said that he ride a horse. So ride a horse, his left leg put in the, what is called the
stirrup.
Stirrup there, and another leg just around, because he is going to ride the horse. At that moment, he can visualize 72 Yidam deities. So that means he can, all the kind of wrathful deities, he can appear. So that's where you can practice all the Yidams in a one period of your time, or say, or one session. But another time is, this is important, very important. Lord Jigten Sungkun said in the Buddha's single attention, that means a single Yidam deities accomplished all the Yidam deities. So that means if you properly, correctly, perfectly, honestly practice one Yidam, and all Yidam, you accomplished all the Yidams. Because all Yidams are actually same. There are no different. There is another example is if there is 100 water pond, and then in the night the moon, there are the moonlight in the night, there are 100 reflections of moon in the 100 water pond. So if you can catch the one moon, real moon in the space, that means you can catch all of these 100 reflections of moon. Likewise, if you authentically, perfectly practice one Yidam deity, then all the Yidam deities you can accomplish. So in ancient times, many practitioners, they don't practice so many Yidam deities. They don't. In the history, we understand their life stories. They practice one single Yidam. They practice the single Yidam deity, and they accomplished great 8 miracle powers, for example, in the generation stage. That means common cities. And they accomplished uncommon cities, so that they attained their own Yidam deities. They see Yidam deities. So that's where if you are going to practice all Yidams, then you can practice two path. Some, I don't want to lead all of everybody on the one path. That's why I answered that. So if you are going to practice many Yidams, for example, 21 Taras, then you can put 21 Taras tanka in front of you, and then you visualize all of them together and recite 21 Taras recitation, prayer. Likewise, there are 35 conventional Buddhas. You can recite them, something like that. Then you can practice many Yidams in the one session. Yeah, that's my answer. Okay.
Anyone else? That's all the questions we have here.
Oh, yes.
Anybody online? Okay.
Okay, maybe that's all.
Yes, that's it for today.
Okay. So then please open this yellow book, and we are going to dedicate. Dedication is very important. That's Lord Jigten Sungkong said. Dedication is like a bank. And if we have a little money and saved in the bank, then we will not lost the money. Likewise, even we have a single merit, we keep it in our dedication store, and then we can use that frequently. Okay, page 28, and the bottom of this verse. Chanjo senjo rembo je ma je bo no je je bo nyam bo me bo yang gon gon do be war jo. May Bodhicitta, the supreme, precious and supreme mind, arising in whom it has not yet arisen. Where it has arisen, may it not decline, but ever increase higher and higher. Okay, thank you all of you. Rest well.
Thank you all. And we will be hosting this Dharma discussion next week, Sunday, August 18th, in addition to the meditation that day as well. Thanks very much. Be well.
Thank you, Khenpo.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Khenpo.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Khenpo.
Thank you.